April 19, 1995, 9:02 a.m. 168 people, including 19 children, killed by model soldier in 3 seconds. The deadliest act of domestic terrorism in American history wasn't carried out by a foreign enemy or a shadowy organization. It was carried out by an American war veteran. His name was Timothy McVeigh.
An explosion in Oklahoma City with worldwide implications and enormous consequences.
The bombing has sent shockwaves through Washington.
There is increased security nationwide.
The Pentagon has activated its emergency disaster response.
It could be a contractor, it could be a wacko, it could be a professional. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to create this kind of bomb.
But what turned a decorated soldier into a mass murderer? Timothy McVeigh grew up in upstate New York. Quiet kid, loved guns, joined the Army in 1988. He excelled, became a gunner in the Gulf War, earned a Bronze Star. By all accounts, he was a model soldier. But something changed after the war. McVeigh became obsessed with government overreach. He devoured anti-government literature, attended gun shows, talked endlessly about the Second Amendment. 2 events radicalized him completely. Ruby Ridge, 1992. Federal agents killed the wife and son of Randy Weaver during an 11-day standoff. Then Waco, 1993. The FBI siege of the Branch Davidian compound ended with 76 people dead, including children. McVeigh visited Waco during the siege. He sold bumper stickers, talked to reporters. Inside, something was calcifying. He believed the federal government had declared war on American citizens, and he decided to strike back. April 19, 1995. Exactly 2 years after Waco ended, the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building in Oklahoma City, a 9-story office building housing federal agencies, Social Security, the DEA, recruiting offices. It also housed a daycare center on the 2nd floor. 19 children were there that morning. At 9:02 a.m., a massive explosion ripped through the building's north side. The blast was so powerful, it registered as a minor earthquake. It shattered windows blocks away. The entire front of the building collapsed. 168 people died. 19 of them were children. More than 680 others were injured. Within 90 minutes, investigators had their first major break. The nation went into shock. Initial reports speculated about Middle Eastern terrorists. America was still reeling from the 1993 World Trade Center bombing. No one expected this to be homegrown. But 90 minutes after the explosion, an Oklahoma State trooper pulled over a car for missing license plates. The driver, Timothy McVeigh. The trooper found a concealed weapon. McVeigh was arrested for minor violations. He had no idea he'd just caught the bomber. 2 days later, as McVeigh was about to be released on bail, federal agents connected him to the attack. A truck rental receipt, witness descriptions, chemical residue on his clothes. They took him into custody minutes before he would have walked free. What McVeigh said next would shock even seasoned investigators. McVeigh didn't hide what he'd done. He called the deaths collateral damage. He compared himself to a soldier carrying out a military operation. The children, acceptable losses in his war against tyranny. His trial began in 1997. The evidence was overwhelming. Rental records, eyewitnesses, his own writings outlining his beliefs. The jury deliberated for 4 days. Guilty on all counts. Death penalty. McVeigh was executed by lethal injection on June 11, 2001. He showed no remorse. His last statement was a handwritten copy of the poem Invictus. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. 168 families would disagree. The Oklahoma City bombing changed America in ways we still feel today. After April 19, 1995, domestic terrorism was no longer theoretical. Security at federal buildings was transformed overnight. concrete barriers, metal detectors, increased surveillance. The FBI created specialized units focused on homegrown extremism. But perhaps the most important legacy is awareness. The bombing shattered the assumption that terrorism only came from abroad. It forced Americans to confront a darker truth, that the threat could come from within, from people who looked like neighbors, who served in the military, who claimed to be patriots. Today, where the Murrah building once stood, there's a memorial. 168 empty chairs, one for each victim. The chairs are arranged in 9 rows, one for each floor of the building. 19 small chairs for the children. Timothy McVeigh believed he was fighting tyranny. The question we're still asking 30 years later: how do we recognize radicalization before it turns deadly? How do we stop the next Timothy McVeigh? If this video gave you a deeper understanding of this tragedy, hit the like button and share it with someone who needs to hear this story. Subscribe if you want more investigative documentaries that go beyond the headlines. We post new videos every week covering cases that shaped history and the lessons we're still learning from them. The conversation doesn't end here. Drop a comment below. What warning signs do you think society should be watching for today?